England, Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, Great Britain. A wisp of a land, not much larger than the state of Utah. And yet, where has Britain's influence not penetrated, geographically or otherwise? Indeed, almost since Julius Caesar's military campaign through Britain in 54 BC, this sceptred isle has extended its reach into world history, politics, literature, science, art, and music. Great Britain is, without question, a worthy and endless subject for study.
The British Studies program at the University of Utah was established in 1999. It's part of the English department in the College of Humanities. We want to provide our students an extraordinarily high-caliber curriculum taught by leading professors in British studies. This program combines traditional courses in the major works of English literature with interdisciplinary study of Britain and of the former colonies of the British Empire.
British studies isn't simply the United Kingdom and the art and the literature produced there, but it has to do with the whole world because of the British Empire. So it's given me a more global perspective in terms of Africa, the Caribbean, India. And I think that's beneficial to really any student to be able to see this within a global context.
I feel a great passion for the literature that has emerged from the British Isles, and also for the process of interrogating it and trying to figure out what is worthwhile in the literature, what is problematic, what do we need to resolve.
Having the opportunity to go to London with the British Studies group was a really great experience because I got to see all these places with so much history, like Hampton Court and all the British museums, and we were able to see so many Shakespeare plays put on by some really amazing companies back there, and it was just something that was a once-in-a-lifetime experience for me.
At the center of the British Studies program is an endowed chair named in honor of Gordon B. Hinckley, President of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. The distinguished professor chosen for this chair will provide the intellectual and academic leadership for all aspects of the British Studies program. This professor will be of such stature as to attract other quality faculty, as well as brilliant undergraduate and graduate students to the British Studies program.
Perhaps no name could more fittingly grace the British Studies Endowment at the University of Utah than that of Gordon B. Hinckley. He is the state's most recognizable figure, to be sure, but his ties to both the university and to Britain uniquely qualify him for this honor and distinction. In 1635, Samuel Hinckley of Harrietsham, in England's county of Kent, made the pivotal decision to leave his native land, follow his Puritan beliefs, and settle on Cape Cod in what is now Massachusetts. Samuel's son, Thomas, later served as governor of Plymouth Colony in Massachusetts. It was from this solid English stock that President Hinckleys descends. At a young age, President Hinckleys' parents, Bryant and Ada Bittner Hinckley, instilled within his mind and heart an enduring love of literature and learning. Bookshelves in his Salt Lake City childhood home were filled with volumes of Shakespeare, world and national histories, biographies and other classics. They did not go unread by the young Gordon. In 1928, Gordon graduated from LDS High School in Salt Lake City. Despite the coming depression, college beckoned, and he enrolled at the University of Utah. His freshman English class illuminated his path toward literature and the humanities. Classes in Milton, Longfellow, Emerson, Carlyle, and of course Shakespeare, together with a variety of liberal arts and science courses, resulted in a bachelor's degree in English, awarded to Gordon in June 1932. Gordon looked forward to a career in journalism and began preparations to enroll at Columbia University in New York City. Then, in 1933, at age 22, Gordon was called to serve a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. His field of labor was to be the British mission, with headquarters in London. After nearly a week's voyage on the SS Manhattan and a brief stopover at the Irish port of Cobh, near Cork, Elder Hinckley put ashore at Plymouth, England. His first field of labor was Preston in Lancashire, some 200 miles north of London. Missionary work challenged him, physically, intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually. There were opportunities almost daily to speak, write, reason, persuade. In other words, to polish his skills, hone his talents, and expand his capabilities. From Preston, Elder Hinckley was transferred to London. London immediately captivated the young missionary. He quickly fell in love with this jewel of the far-flung British Empire. Perhaps at that time the world's greatest metropolis and capital city, it was a tremendous center for art, music, drama, and commerce. The pace, the cosmopolitan nature of the people, the sophisticated culture, it was invigorating for a young man from Salt Lake City. He came to believe that no one could live in London for long without developing a love for the place. In 1935, Elder Hinckley returned home from his British mission, ready to face his future. And what a future it turned out, and is turning out to be.
As the Gordon B. Hinckley Endowment grows, so will the British Studies program. Graduate fellowships will be offered to the most deserving students. Already, a second faculty chair is being planned in order to attract another highly respected professor in British Studies to the University of Utah. The Hinckley Endowment will also enable the College of Humanities to invite visiting professors to campus, whose research will engage not only students, but also the community at large. Over time, this endowment will achieve a reputation for organizing world-class academic conferences. The College of Humanities is proud of the Gordon B. Hinckley Endowment, and we are dedicated to its continued growth and development to benefit students now and for generations to come.
Those of us who were involved from the beginning really wanted to make this an endowment that changes student lives for the better. And from the very beginning, that has been our focus, and we're very grateful to the endowment. We're grateful that President Hinckleys has lent his name to it, and we're grateful for the donors and the people who have worked so hard to raise money for the endowment, because that money is changing lives. It's changing lives for the better, and it's enhancing educational opportunities for students here in ways that simply didn't exist prior to the establishment of the endowment.
Our focus on the humanities, I heard once, is supposed to make us more humane. So I think that the more we can read about other people and the issues they go through and relate them to our lives, I think the more humane we can become.
I think to have President Hinckleys' name on this endowment is very appropriate. He went to school here, he studied English and Latin, and he loved British culture, having served his mission there. And so it's such an appropriate way, I think, to really bolster the success of the program. I think it's the perfect choice.
So wonderful to come back to London. I do love this land. I do love the people of this land. I feel a peculiar affection for the people of this land. This is London. I like to even think of it as my London. I just feel at home here and at ease here and one with you in this great and significant place.